Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to look through an example student's answer to a level 1 mock reading paper. So before you do this, make sure you download the time and money source document, borderline pass and mark scheme, because we're going to be referring to those in this video, and it's important that you know what we're talking about basically. So we're just going to have a look at some of the mistakes that people commonly make on the level 1 reading paper. So here's the usual blurb at the start. We'll skip through that because I'm going to assume you can read this on your own. So, question 1, and we can see that the student has lost 2 marks here because they've done the right thing. They've provided 4 things there. So we've got the informative language telling you how to use your hidden talents, different paragraphs tell you what's going on, and title at the top tells what the document's about. So what mistake has the student made here? Pause the video and see whether you can think of the mistake the student's made. Okay, yes, so the students missed out this key word here, layout. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for layout features. So if you remember, those tend to be things like bold text, italic text, the title, the picture, the caption under the picture if it has those. They're not things like the language use. That would be more of a language feature. Okay, so that's a language feature. And this one here telling you how to use your hidden talents. That's more the overall purpose of the text, really, than anything else. So looking for layout features, how it is presented. Now, the mistake the students made at this point here, really, is the question says, at a glance, what are the main ways to make money? Now, that's not incorrect, but the at a glance bit tells us what we need to be doing is we need to be looking at large visual clues, like this says here. So it's a quick glance. What could you tell from a quick glance? So let's have a look here. So we've got these lovely little bold subheadings here, which are 2 other points you could have pointed out for question 1. So get a part-time job could be 1. Use your hidden talents and sell your junk. So we've got 3 things there. And strangely enough, we've got 3 marks for this. So that tells us actually, yeah, we're looking for those 3 things. Part-time job, sell your junk, and use your hidden talents. Now, let's have a look at this question here. What formal channel could you use to help you find a job? What I would like you guys to have a think about is where the student's gone wrong here. In a minute, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to get you to look through the source documents on your own and see whether you can answer this. Okay? So, they've got 2 things, right? Send in the CV and Job Centre Plus. They need to get one more thing here. So, pause the video, have a look through your source documents and see whether you can find another formal channel. Okay, knowing that we've got to take everything from document 1, we know already that actually, if we're looking for finding a job, then get a part-time job is probably the section we're going to be reading. So we read through this and we look for formal channels. So that's not informal stuff like asking a friend or whatever. It's the formal process of getting a job. So we've got the send your CV to companies you think might suit your skill set. And as we can see, the student already put that down there. We've got Job Centre Plus here as well, which the student also got. The other thing you could have found out here is registering with a recruitment agency. That's quite a formal process. You need to go in, you need to sign forms, send those off. Okay? So, they did okay on that question. Now, the mistake that the student has made here, what are the benefits of working part-time? They've got earn money, for one, and not on benefits, and they haven't got a mark for that. The reason they haven't got a mark for that is because even though, yeah, technically that's correct, you know, it's great when you've got a job because you're not relying on Job Centre to pay your benefits or whatever, but that's not actually mentioned in the source document. So even though it's technically correct, it has to come from the source document, okay? So, do remember that. These are comprehension questions that they've done pretty well on. And again, another mistake they've made here is, even though they've got 2 marks for this, and I do want to sort of mention this in a little while, so I'll just save that for now. That ask people thing would not have gotten a mark because it's not actually from the source document. The source document doesn't mention that you can ask people about boot fairs. Obviously, you can in real life, you know, but because the document itself doesn't say that, you can't put it down. So, Another thing I want to mention here is the students actually been pretty clever. They've put 3 things. Even though it's a 2-mark question, they've put 3 things, possibly because they're a bit unsure about one of them. That's a good idea. If a document if a question asks for 4 things, and you found 6, 2 of which you're a bit unsure on, if you put down them all, you're not going to get marked down because one of your answers is wrong if you've still got all the 4 correct answers down. So if you've got time, then that can be quite a good idea. And again, the mistake that the students made here is I should imagine they are still looking at document 1 to answer this question. Do pay attention to this bit. Halfway through your exam paper, it will switch and you'll be looking at document 2. So do remember that. That's really important because I've had students miss marks. I've had students take way too long in the exam because they're looking at the wrong document. So do remember, halfway through, it will switch to document 2. It's an easy mistake to make if you're under pressure. Now, fortunately, the students got 4 marks here anyway. But as you can see in the source documents, this is document 1, which has got an image. This is document 2. Document 2 does not have an image on it. So do remember that. Okay. So they're looking for 3 charities that you can contact to apply for volunteering jobs. And the mistake they've made here is, I should imagine they're not reading in detail enough. They've found 3 possible organisations and they've put them all down, and they've missed out this part here. So read the questions carefully and thoroughly, okay? It should be the part of the question paper you're reading very thoroughly, the questions, okay? And again, the mistake they've made here for that last question is that they've put something down that isn't in the source document. Do remember to use the source documents, okay? Don't draw stuff from your own experience, even if it is right, if it's not in the source document. And there you go.